you ever seen anything that looked really suspicious?
Might be at this concert chilling, and the big Illuminati boss might be standing right next to you out of nowhere. If I want to go this way, I can do it right now.
Man, what's good with the collective? Y'all know we back with another banger, another reaction. I appreciate everybody who been tapping in, running up, and subbing up. If you new to the channel, please like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell so you always notified whenever we drop them uploads. Y'all know we coming with about 4 videos every smooth 7. And this is for entertainment purposes as well. And when you like and comment and subscribe to the channel, helps Collective grow, helps Collective get bigger, helps more people who like this type of content tap in with this content. But I appreciate y'all, man. If you're watching on TV, whatever the case is, I wish you a smooth 7 as well. Might be a trigger warning or 2. I hope not. But shout out to Opposite Side of Hell. I seen your comment. You wanted to shout out. Shout out to you. Shout out to Cleansing My Aura. Apologize. I'm just getting around to you asking for a shout out. I apologize, family. Ashley Downward. Shout out to you as well. I be seeing you in the comments a lot. Appreciate all the love and support y'all be sending. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We got more shout outs coming too, so don't trip. I got y'all. And my guy, Solo G. Shout out to you, bro. You've been around since damn near day 1. I remember. I be in the comments. I be checking. I remember faces. I remember names. And I remember the pages. I remember the channels. I remember those of the collective that has been rocking. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. But I ain't gonna hold you. Y'all know what it is, man. Let's get straight to the video, man. Let's go.
This guy's ex-wife on live TV because he blamed her for their daughter.
And this aired?
This aired in 1996 in Florida. This guy, Emilio Nunez, was getting interviewed at the time by the news because his daughter recently took her own life. And he was pretty much blaming his ex-wife and his ex-wife's husband for her, pretty much saying that they bullied her into taking her own life away. Because his daughter had just gotten pregnant and she was like a teenager at the time or something. They're doing this interview at the gravesite of his daughter. So they're doing it at the cemetery. His ex-wife pulls up at the cemetery at the same time that he's being interviewed by the news. And she was there just to visit her daughter. While they're there, they notice that she pulls up. So the lady who's doing the interview goes over to her car, and his wife Maritza is just sitting inside the car because she doesn't want to, be next to her ex-husband, asking her questions, trying to get an interview with the ex-wife. While this is happening, Emilio is just kind of just standing around. He ends up getting into his car and driving away. His ex-wife Maritza decides to get out the car now because she feels safe that he's not there no more. Then she starts walking away towards her daughter's grave to go visit it. At this time, the lady who's interviewing Emilio is just badgering her with hella questions, trying to get answers from her. Emilio didn't really drive off. He walks up behind his ex-wife and shoots her and kills her. Shoots her in her head, she drops to the ground, and he unloads the clip into her body.
And this was all captured on TV.
This is captured live on TV, bro. After that, they ended up arresting him, and I think he got like 30 years in jail or something like that.
Oh, so they ended up calling police and caught him.
Yeah, they ended up catching him.
Well, he did it on camera,
yeah,
so it's like...
It's live.
Yeah. Oh, man.
I ain't never heard of that type. I had to bleep some of that out.
We are currently living in the shadows of a much larger realm. Look at the comparisons here. The mushroom. Look at the person here. Now, if you think that this is just a coincidental rock formation, then you are a perfect little slave. The evidence of an enchanted, magical, massive forest is all around us. You just need the eyes to see. I say it all the time. The eyes are useless when the mind is blind. It is all around you. This has been spoken about in religious texts across all of our cultures, been depicted by our ancient ancestors. They talked about stories with the giants, the Nephilim, dragons, all sorts of mystical creatures. Look at this. The evidence is right in front of your face, guys. This realm used to be massive. It used to be beautiful. The tree of life at the center, the magnetic center of our stationary Earth, cut down by our predecessors. Our history is far from what most people think, and it is definitely not even close to what we have been told. The real answers to everything lie within us. And don't forget to like, share, and follow for more hidden truth. Peace and love.
Y'all think we did too much to go back? Or y'all think we could possibly go back?
Who are they? The Knights Templar. This ancient organization, knee-deep in the mist of history, is assumed to have been established around 1119 AD in Jerusalem. The French knight and nobleman Hugh the Paul saw a need to protect the pilgrimers arriving in the Holy Land. The king of Jerusalem at the time, Baldwin II, loved that idea, so much that he gifted the Templars a piece of his palace right at Temple Mount. Now, the mainstream narrative sees the Knights Templar as a simple army of the church that beat Christianity into people. However, it goes so much deeper than that. They didn't even see the same importance to Jesus than the church. They found Saint John the Baptist to be way more important, as he was the teacher of Jesus. And besides that, they built their monuments on pagan ritual sites, worshipped different deities, and even established one of the first financial institutions. They gave out credits to kings and other noblemen, which also led to their downfall. In 1307, the King of France, Philip IV, was heavily indebted to the order, and so he plotted together with Pope Clement V to prosecute all the Templars. They've simply gotten too powerful. And so many Templar knights were actually killed or imprisoned. The ones that got away joined different orders, like the Knights Hospitaller or the Order of Christ, which then basically became the Templars 2.0. And with this rebranding, can you really say that the Knights Templar were dismantled? Look at the kings of Portugal. What symbol do they wear? And the sails used during the Age of Discovery. I do not know if that had anything to do with nations. Portugal and Spain didn't like each other, yet they used the same sails for their discovery missions. Christopher Columbus is Italian, yet he sails for the Spanish crown. As always, embrace the uncertainty. Study the outer, learn about the inner. And have you ever asked yourself the question,
you guys want to hear a little bit about the Knights Templar? I found a very weird connection. They were accused of practicing these dark arts, this ancient Egyptian mysticism. What I thought was interesting was their symbol was a red cross, but it was 8-sided.
Yeah.
That cross, that 8-pointed cross, carried throughout really strange organizations. One being Freemasonry, and the story goes that hundreds of years before Columbus went to America, the Knights Templar were actually in America. And there's a conspiracy that they were finding ancient relics and bringing them to America to hide them. When the Knights Templar was dissolved, all of Europe was basically like, if you're a Knights Templar, you're in prison or you're dead. Yeah. The only country that did not do it was Portugal. And what's interesting is that Christopher Columbus, I believe, is from Portugal. Sails on Christopher Columbus's ship was the symbol of the Knights Templar. He used those sails going to America because he knew that the natives there would recognize that, and it wouldn't be as much of a threat.
Have you heard about the Knights of Malta and the Order of St. John of Jerusalem? As you can notice behind me, one of our notable historical presidents has been a member of the order. But what is this order exactly? Depending on which order of Freemasonry you follow, the Scottish Rite or the York Rite, they have different degrees of apprenticeship. The degree of Knight of Malta specifically is universally associated with the Masonic Knights Templar in the York Rite system. Before the Templar degree in the standalone tradition, it is conferred subsequently to the Templar degree. It is known by varying degrees of formality as the Order of Malta, or the Order of Knights of Malta, or the Ancient and Masonic Order of St. John of Jerusalem. As you can see here in the ranking system over here, the Order of Malta is right below the Order of the Temple. So it is one of the higher degrees of the York Rite system.
It is my privilege to place around your neck badge of knighthood and to cloak you with the mantle of our order.
Your Royal Highness, the Grand Prior, Your Royal Highness, the Duchess of London, representatives of the Priory for South Africa of the Order of St. John's.
So on behalf of Her Majesty, the Sovereign Head of the Order, I welcome you to the Order. We have been greatly encouraged by your acceptance of the honor to become a Knight of the Order, and your appointment has been received with great enthusiasm in Grand Prairie, and in particular amongst our membership in South Africa of some 900 members of the Order.
How y'all feeling? I'm new to this. Literally. Like today I'm new to all this. Let me know y'all thoughts. Let me know y'all opinions. Do y'all agree? Is this interesting to y'all? Is y'all gonna dive deeper down this rabbit hole? Do y'all wanna go further? Let me know. Cause right now, I'm like, you know, you got 2 eyes and 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. You're supposed to pay attention and listen 2 times as much as you're supposed to be talking. I'm sitting there listening. I'm listening. I'm taking it in. I'm trying to connect some dots on the back end. Again, let me know how y'all feel, man. I like today's rollout. Not gonna lie.
Do you think that the Trump presidency is scarier than a Stephen King novel?
Short answer to that is yes, I do. I do think it's scarier.
You're not the voice of the people. I am the voice of the people. I will be your voice.
I was sort of convinced that it was possible that a politician would arise who was so outside the mainstream and so willing to say anything that he would capture the imaginations of the American people. They take him as a joke at first because he has these rallies and he throws hot dogs to the crowd. It says, when Greg Stillson's elected, you're going to say hot dog. We got a real mover and shaker at last.
You're going to be so tired of winning.
Crazy stuff that nobody would possibly believe, or so we thought until Donald Trump came along.
The man is a clown. He goes charging around a speaking platform like that at every rally. Some people want a giggle or two. Even more, they want to thumb their noses at a political establishment that doesn't seem able to solve anything.
When Greg Stillson actually gains a following, he has a cadre of bikers who support him.
You know, they're tough guys, right? Where are the bikers for Trump?
And they're at the rallies and they're there to make sure that nobody heckles Greg Stillson.
Get him out of here! Get out! Knock the crap out of him, would you? Seriously.
The man had the high, hard, pumping delivery of a revival preacher. You could see a fine spray of spittle from his lips as he talked.
So I announced that I'm running for president.
What are we going to do in Washington? Throw the bombs out. A tremendous roar of approval ripped out of the crowd.
We're going to drain the swamp. Drain the swamp.
My worry at the time that I wrote The Dead Zone was that somebody like Greg Stillson might actually get elected and rise through the ranks, become president of the United States, and start World War III.
The missiles are flying.
Had I really known the future, I could have had Greg say, well, I've got a button and it's bigger than your button.
My button is bigger than yours and my button works. My destiny.
The first scene in the book is Greg Stillson at the beginning of his career. He's selling Bibles, actually. He's a door-to-door salesman.
The Bible! Nothing beats the Bible. Nothing beats the Bible, not even the art of the deal.
He's a huckster from the word go. And in that sense, he's got a lot of that Trump genome in him. And the first thing that you see Greg do is he comes out to a house that's empty, and the dog is outside and barks at him and then snags his leg. And Greg Stillson kicks the dog to death in the dooryard. The letters I got after that, oh my God, you know, it doesn't matter how many people die in books. The Stand, you know, 98% of the world's population gets decimated, but they care about the dogs, man.
You do love your dogs, don't you?
You're the talk of the town.
Because I got my head bashed in and I'm still here to talk about it.
Because you have the power of second sight.
You're magic. Like me.
I don't know about magic. I always called it the shining.
I don't think that I necessarily predicted Donald Trump when I wrote The Dead Zone. I know that American voters have always had a real attraction to outsiders with the same kind of right-wing America First policy. And if that reminds people of Trump, I can't be sorry, because it was a character that I wrote. It was a boogeyman of mine, and I never wanted to see him actually on the American political scene. But we do seem to have a Greg Stilson as President of the United States.
Is that a reach, or was it not? Do you agree, or do you disagree? Let me know. Respectfully, we respectful. Let's be family here. Let's make sure we all stay one. It's okay to disagree with each other. Let me know y'all thoughts.
All take care of it.
Shit, sometimes I think people working for them don't even realize they're working.
Some morbid facts about Stephen King. When he was a young boy, Stephen witnessed one of his best friends get struck and killed by a train, but he has no recollection of the event. King's family said that after leaving to play with the boy, he returned home speechless and in shock. Many believe this event may have psychologically inspired some of King's darker works, though he refuses to comment on it. In 1999, King was struck by a minivan and nearly by the distracted driver. Stephen later bought the van so that he could destroy it, and the driver of the van happened to die on King's birthday the next year, September 21st. The greatest horror writer in history claims that he constantly lives in fear. His long list of phobias includes flying, snakes, rats, spiders, squishy things, deformities, death, closed-in spaces, and the dark. King would do so much while writing that he had to stuff cotton up his nose to prevent blood from dripping on his typewriter. There are various books that he doesn't even remember writing, including the 1981 classic Cujo.
I'm just gonna say Stephen King is an interesting individual. Dope art, dope content. I love how he writes. I love how he makes his films. But damn, is he interesting. That's some crazy shit. I didn't even know he was all that in the sky off the white shit while writing some of these books. That's crazy. Now it makes sense why his mind's so scrambled too. It makes sense. It makes sense.
Have you ever seen anything that looked really suspicious?
Might be at this concert chilling, and the big Illuminati boss might be standing right next to you out of nowhere. If I want to go this way, I can do it right now.
I was with Dave Chappelle. Introduced me to somebody.
The question
and they took me to a room.
There you go.
They took me to a room and there was candles.
They can't fight the boogeyman, but if you say a name, they can fight that family.
But I was offered something and I just wasn't with it. But when they said, good luck, young man, you're on your own. And I never went platinum since.
Didn't I say my manager popped up out of nowhere?
So remember that conspiracy theory where it was saying if you have organ donor on your card and you get into an accident, hospitals will either let you die or actually actively try to get your organs? Well, it's no longer a conspiracy theory. It has just been confirmed by a new article in the New York Times, and it says a push for more organ transplants is putting donors at risk.
I have the craziest story time about this, but I gotta take you back in time. The year is approximately 2010. I just had finished watching. I remember I finished watching the movie 7 Pounds with Will Smith. And the movie 7 Pounds speaks about how there are 7 pounds of organs that you can donate, right? And the movie is amazing. It's a selfless movie. It's like, I cried, bro. I was really impacted by this movie. So I had to go to the DMV and get my license. So I went to the DMV. I filled out all the paperwork. When it got to the part of organ donor, I said, of course, Will Smith, I am legend, organ donor. Let's go, right? This is before Jada and the Entanglement and all of the rapping that he's doing right now. I wish he would go back to the movies. As I'm there, I'm standing online, and I go up, and the cashier is an older black woman, right? And the older black woman, she's reading through the document, the form, and she looks at me, and she's like, organ donor? I'm like, yes, ma'am. And she was like, son, what I want you to do right now is I want you to go back to that seat over there, take this pen and put no. You're not an organ donor. You're a big, beautiful black man. You should know better. You should know better. I said, so the conviction over me when she said that, I said, wait, what's going on? But she was like an older black woman, bro, like a motherly, grandmotherly role figure to me. Like, I don't even know this lady, but that's the energy she gave me. And I'm like, I'm gonna listen to what she says. So I go back and I do it, and then I'm feeling really conflicted. I'm like, yo, this lady doesn't want me to do a selfless act, bro. Like, this is crazy. So I go back, I'm like, I'm gonna ask her. And I said, I fixed everything, ma'am. Why did you say to put no for organ donor? Like, have you seen the movie 7 Pounds with Will Smith? She was like, they'll take your organs, my boy. And I'm like, what do you mean? She said, they'll take your organs. They'll figure out a way and they'll take your organs. I know. And I'm like, all right, should I stay here for your picture and smile? And my picture, my face was like this for the picture. I'll even show you guys if I can find the old ID. I was like, I was shook.
Hey, I told my mom's ex-husband this. I said, because he said he had it on his license. So I was like, hey, bro, you do know that now this is before we call truth. This is when it was just conspiracy theories. Now we know a lot of this shit be real. And I was like, hey, bro, you know when you get that, like, that is, they say that it gets flagged in the system. So if you out and about, they gonna know, like, where your car, they gonna be able to flag you down, stop you. And then it's gonna be, oh, I thought it was my taser. Then it really wasn't a taser. I was reaching for my taser. I was in fear for my life. And now it's, this cop goes down for 12 months or so, good behavior, he out. And he now, you know, they could join another police force. They could do anything they damn want. All that type of shit was erased. Y'all don't know why? Y'all need to go look, because we already did that one. Y'all want to take that rabbit hole again? We can, but I know some people going to be upset when we take that rabbit hole. That's why I don't want to retake it. I don't want to be pissing everybody off. But he kept it on there. He never took it off, so, hey, I don't know where he at. Well, I know where he at. I just don't have no contact directly to him. So it's just like, yeah, shit crazy, man. Shit crazy. Do y'all agree with it? Do y'all disagree with it? Do y'all have it or do y'all not?
Watch this YouTuber explain this story about the Illuminati.
Point of this story is she really wanted to be famous, I guess. That's what she wanted to be. And she met somebody who could promise her that. And she met somebody. Have you ever heard this?
No.
She met somebody.
This is crazy.
And he was like, I know how to make you famous. And she's like, how? And he's like, we can turn you into anything. Like,
Scientology.
We can turn you, honestly.
It may have been something like that.
We can turn you into a singer, an actor, whatever you want. And one day he visited her apartment and he was like in a suit and tie. And I came in and I saw him in the suit. And then she's like, please leave. And she closed the door on me. So I left. And she came up to my apartment sobbing. And she was like, this guy, please, you cannot repeat this. And for 3 years, I held the story to myself because I thought this guy was going to me. But they were like, if you ever repeat this, they'll kill me and they'll kill you and they'll kill anybody that you love. And she was sobbing to me. And she's like, there's this guy, he came to me. And he's like, he's telling me, she was like, this guy came to me and he's like, I can turn you into anything you want to be, but you have to sacrifice somebody. And I just spoke to my mother and my mom. My mom really supports me and she's like willing to be sacrificed so I can become like famous. A singer or whatever, famous, whatever. And it was just completely serious, and it was really terrifying. Really, really terrifying.
Like you believed her.
Totally believed her.
Hell nah, bro. Not my mama, though.
What color was kindergarten?
Kindergarten?
Yeah, when you was in kindergarten or pre-K, what color was it? Ooh. It was every color.
Yeah, I was gonna say rainbow.
Okay, now when you went to 1st to 2nd grade, what color was it?
I don't know.
It was bland. Yeah. It was that color. Yeah, it was
like jail.
Exactly. Then when you went to high school, what color was it?
Like jail.
Yeah. Okay, then when you went to work, what color was the wall?
Yeah.
It's waning you off the frequency. When you a kid, you vibrant, you running around, and then the first thing they do is they say, wane them off the frequency. Make the walls tan, make everything tan, make it boring. Sit down, don't move. They just get you right out of spirituality. And then the next time that you do get introduced to a colorful environment, guess where you at? You in a club. If the club was this color, nobody would go. But since it's black and it's universal light, aka from red to purple, it feel like you in a universe. It feel like you in a So this is why people like the club. It's called colorology. Even hunger. Hunger is triggered by the color red, yellow, and orange. What color is Wendy's? What color is Chick-fil-A, McDonald's? Every highly successful fast food franchise, I guarantee you, if they not all red, orange, and yellow, they have either one of them colors at a high value. Yeah. So this is people who literally socially engineer the world.
And y'all remember that clip?
If you go to the hospital today and get an encephalogram, what's that? That's the memory of your conscious mind. It's on the CD. Let's download it on this being. Now we got a walking, talking duplicate that has the total memory that you have because we just took it off of your own mind.
Okay, it's like Blade Runner, the android.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. The only thing is that it's like this DVD recorder. Sometimes you have glitches in it, so you have to have them tuned up occasionally or redone them. And so we take them to Camp David, or there's a wing at Bethesda Hospital to just tell you. If you go down there and check, you'll find the nurses, if they're willing to come forth, they'll tell you they work on those people, and they call them the others. I thought it was interesting. They're people. Remember, these people can think and act, but they don't have soul. That's also prophesized. Soulless beings.
That's true. That's true.
These people, man, trying to play God.
Probably being a conspiracy theorist has to be these ridiculous ones like birds aren't real. The CIA is using pigeons in the Cold War. What?
The pigeon camera is one of our older artifacts where parts of the mission are actually still classified. And with planes like the U-2 and the A-12 and satellites like Corona in the sky, the CIA had a window into a whole new world of intelligence. But unfortunately, those planes are taking photographs from incredible heights. So if we wanted to get into a target area with more detail, the CIA was going to have to get creative and return to the animal kingdom again. CIA's Office of Research and Development created a camera small and light enough to be carried by a pigeon. With the camera attached to its breast, the pigeon would fly over a target area on its return home. With the pigeon being a common species, it was able to conceal itself as an intelligence collection platform among thousands of other birds. Pigeon imagery is taken from hundreds of feet above the target, whereas planes like the A-12 and the U-2 were taking photographs from tens of thousands of feet, and satellites like Corona were miles above the target. The pigeon camera allowed the CIA to have a much more detailed view of what was going on in an area. The camera could begin taking pictures immediately upon release, or it could have a preset delay. The camera took a series of images at a set interval, and there was actually a small battery-operated motor that advanced the film and cocked the shutter.
Now, do y'all remember the clip where they saying pigeons were all fake? Well, I said I can't agree with that. I'm not gonna say all pigeons are fake. Some might be fake, just like most of these birds. Again, I told you that was a clip that we had of a guy saying birds were fake, and he popped one out his backyard and the head was missing. Well, not missing, but it was separate from the body and it was wires hanging from it. And I couldn't even post it. Like I said, when I was young, I seen baby pigeons. I seen pigeons being born. I lived in the hood, so like I had the air conditioning. You had to walk up to the wall and press on the wall, and the air would shoot in that way. And they would have babies on the top because I was upstairs. They would have babies up there. You could hear them. And then I would hit the side thing. I was young. I was a wild ass kid. So I would hit the side of the thing just to hear them fly away, because I didn't like all that noise they was making. Couldn't even sit there in the living room without hearing that shit. I remember that like it was yesterday. I seen baby pigeons. I seen real pigeons for real. So I can't say that all of them are fake, because I seen them. And some of y'all said y'all had seen them. But I'm going to say some birds are fake and used as listening devices, cameras. Oh, they used to spy on us pretty much. But I'm not going to say all birds. But yeah, there are some that's out there I feel like are artificial and fake and used to spy. What's y'all thoughts, man? Spam it up.
When you talk about the really dark criminal stuff that's going on the earth, you're talking the Vatican. You're talking the Knights of Malta, which gave us the 6 men who founded the CIA in America, were all Catholics. When you begin to look at the banking fraternities in America, like the Bank of America, Union Bank in California, all of these people who founded these banks and today are running the banking establishment are all Knights of Malta, Catholic Masonry. You need to remember that for at least 2,300 years, Rome has dominated Europe, and the Vatican dominates all of Europe. All the kings and rulers in Europe rule by the divine right. What are you talking about? Who represents divine to give the king the right? The Pope. The Pope appoints certain families to be over the French. The Pope appoints certain people to be over the Germans and over the British. And so by divine right. Why? Because the Pope represents God.
To this huge pool. Oh, check this out. Look at this. You can see under the pool. That's the pool through that window. You could look through that window and it would normally be underwater. Where do you see that in a house? Alright guys, so something I skipped over is when I initially came down the steps, I saw, here's the spiral staircase right here. I initially came down that and went that way. What's this? Oh, it's a changing room. Check that out. They have changing rooms here. And look, you could see under the water with that as well. Dude, what? This is so insane. It's another changing room. Why is there so many changing rooms? Look, you can even kind of see the pool. Looks like you're in a ship. Check this out. When you come through here, sorry for my hand shaking, but we have a full sauna. Oh my God. You have a full sauna in here. This is lit. I can't believe we just found a sauna as well. So that's the end of this hallway over here. Guys, literally finding so much stuff in this house. It literally just keeps getting better and better. But something I didn't really film as much as I wanted to is that swimming pool. So let's go up and check that out. Right up these spiral stairs. So look, here's the windows I was just showing you guys when we were underground. So I'm just walking around the pool right now, as you guys can tell. It's a really big pool, and it's actually a deep pool. Look at this room though. How often do you ever see anything like this? Even a full diving board, which looks like you probably even hit your head on it. But look, here's the pool cover right here. which, since it's indoor, I honestly don't even know why we'd have one, but you get the idea. Look how sick this pool is. Besides that though, they just have a couple of lights on the wall, a couch, and that's about it. Stepping down into the pool right now. Here's what I was showing you earlier. And look, here's the windows we were looking through.
Y'all, if this ain't the weirdest, the craziest, the scariest, annoying sound right now in Pace, Florida, man, they just got woken up at 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning to some crazy sound that's in the sky. They don't know what it is or where it's from. And y'all, when y'all hear this, y'all gonna be like, is the sky screaming? That ain't no normal sound, and it don't even sound like they working on something, construction, that loud. Who the hell the sky mad at? Nigga, he yelling at the ground? They also said it was residents that was saying that they seen strange lights coming from the ocean. Listen to this other one. This 2025, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a damn dinosaur. What if a dinosaur coming back? Bitch, not only that though, y'all, ain't no news report this, none of them. Santa Rosa County, they said that this was caused by a tripped steam line. I ain't even know what that was. I gotta do a little search on that. If you in that area, if you in Florida, tap in with your boy, man. Let me know what they saying it is. Be safe. Do your search.
Okay. Now, I don't normally show off what's in my fridge because these brands got to start hitting me off before I start chirping about them. But for a supporter, I got you. First off, every item in my fridge is Israel support free. Let's just start with that. I got a lot of cheese in here. You know, I got some Gouda in here. This is some mozzarella. I got some Mexican blends. Got some cheddar in there too, you know. Pepperoni in the back because, you know, I like to make my own pizza. I got this right now, but, you know, I'm a Locatelli kind of guy. You know, I ain't gonna hold you. I'm a Locatelli kind of guy. Over here, I got some homemade pesto. You know how that go. Olives for the martini, eggs for the protein. You get it. And this here is some cranberry juice. Yeah. Pickled jalapenos, you know. Y'all buying this in the supermarket for like $9. You can really just do it yourself. It's really easy. Some dog food for Dino, because, you know, I love my pup. Only the best for Dino. Got some pico de gallo in the back. You know, sometimes you don't like chopping it up yourself. So these over here, this is wine, right? And then this half over here is Kool-Aid. I keep them beside each other because I don't know. Ginger shots. You gotta have your ginger shots. You know, if you ain't doing the ginger shots, you're doing yourself a disservice. Especially if you're lactose intolerant. You feel me? Because, you know, helps you digest. We also got some homemade almond milk, you know, for the lactose intolerant in all of us. Barbecue sauce because I'm black. Over here we got some beet juice. I keep them down here because these are the special ones. You know, you got to keep them away from these over here because you don't want to get it mixed up. Sometimes they're not labeled properly. They should be labeled. And I'm not sure why they're not labeled. I'll have to talk to somebody about that. Schmuckers. That's about it. You know, let me know if you need a tour of any other spot in my house. For y'all, I'll do it.
Now I'm gonna say the shit that I first thought when he first opened the fridge. Bro, is that blood? I gotta ask. I gotta ask. Donald Draper, one of my favorite creators. One of my favorite. He up there, at least top 3. And he ain't even, to me, he up there. He up there. I can't give him a number right now. What if he number 1? Cause I gotta like think it all the way through. That's some shit I gotta think on, but he up there, bro. Legendary to me. A lot of people say y'all didn't believe that he was a vampire based off the gray in his hair, or y'all didn't believe he was a real vampire based off the story he recently told about the Bermuda Triangle. But I seen some people who was like, nah, I believe, bro. What do y'all think? Y'all think that was all for the camera? Was that cranberry juice? Was that wine? Was it beet juice? Or was that what the hell? I mean, like I said, my first thought was blood. That was my first thought. Let me know what y'all thinking.
Alright, so my friends and I went to happy hour after work today. We had some adult beverages. And we were talking about our favorite conspiracy theories. And I love conspiracy theories. Like I said the other day, the difference between a conspiracy theory and a fact, 6 months for it to be proven true. Every single time. Every time. Well, one of my favorite conspiracy theories is about Paul McCartney. You know, from the Beatles. And that bitch died back in the 60s. There was a documentary on Netflix back in 2010 or 2011. Me and my friends would get stoned all the time and watch it. We'd watch it like every day. We'd watch it like 2-3 times a day. Because you'd pick up shit that you didn't notice before. And I bought it. Hold on, I have it right here. I have this like old antique trunk. Hold on, I keep all my DVDs in here. It's right here. So Paul McCartney really is the last testament of George Harrison. Wildest documentary I have ever watched. It's not on TV anymore. It was on Netflix for years. It was so good I bought it. And basically what it's about is during their second or third album, the Beatles were a huge sensation, like first boy band ever. And Paul was leaving the studio one night after midnight and it was pouring, raining. And he was picking up a girl on the side of the road or something that was in a blue dress. And they got in a car accident or something. He died. And it was reported all over Europe. Like, all over Europe that, like, Paul McCartney was dead. Well, the Queen of England got word of it all and was like, no. Because their rate would go through the roof. And she didn't want to deal with that, which I get, but she was like, okay, PR move, let's hold a William Campbell lookalike contest. So this little bitch named William Campbell won the contest. So if you are I'm a huge Beatles fan, so the OG Paul McCartney was left-handed, William Campbell was right-handed. William Campbell also had like scars from plastic surgery on his face. A lot of shit, I promise. Well, okay, so let me show you this album. One of my favorite ones. All of the symbolism is in a lot of their albums, like their vinyls. But the one that had the most was Sgt. Pepper's album or whatever. There's a lot of symbolism and like hidden pictures. If you like put it in a mirror and it says like, rest in peace, Paul. He died this date, whatever. One of the ones that I have is the Abbey Road album. Look. So there's the Abbey Road. I have it in my bookshelf. So Paul's right here. John Lennon's here. Basically, he's supposed to represent, I think, Jesus or something with the all white or an angel. He's a pallbearer. He is the corpse, obviously. So I can't remember what the cigarette symbolizes, but they're all left foot forward, right foot back, except Paul. He's opposite. He's the corpse. He's barefoot to represent he's in the casket. He's the grave digger. The license plate, you can't really see it, but it says, here lies Paul in the year that he... And then over in the corner is this little bitch that's being a peeping Tom. Represents the Illuminati. Which, like, over in that area, the Illuminati is called MS5 or something like that. It's their demonic, satanic, evil organization. You know, like the United States government. But it's the company that, like, controls the government. So it's the Illuminati, the devil worshippers. Evil pieces of shit. But anyways, they basically threatened the Beatles, mainly John Lennon, and was like, you can't come forward with any of this, you know, information. We will kill you. Well, John was like, you, and he put a lot of symbolism in all of their albums. If you play a lot of their albums backwards, it talks about how Paul died. Paul is dead, like a bunch of shit. Well, he kept getting in trouble, and they were like, you can't fucking do this. We're gonna kill you. So he schedules a tell-all with like a book or something. I can't remember. It was whenever him and Yoko Ono were together. I think that's her name. He got by that crazy fat, what's his name? I can't remember. The Catcher in the Rye dude, the one that had the book, Catcher in the, whatever. That was fake. Like, that was all fake. That was a publicity stunt. But yeah, the whole thing is wild. So, like, apparently the real Paul McCartney, the new one, his name is William Campbell. He was a cover-up. He's not the same Paul McCartney because Paul wrote all the music for the Beatles. He had, like, 150, 200 plus songs that were not released at the time of his death. And, like, that's where all their albums came through. And apparently Let It Be, the last one that has, like, the 4 pictures of all of them, Paul's picture is the only one that's in red to symbolize his death, and he's the only one, like, looking away or something, like he's dead. There's so much shit. If y'all want to watch this, I will be glad to rewatch this and play you the highlights. This is my favorite conspiracy theory of all time. I gotta go. I'll call you back later. Bye.
Check this out, y'all. We told y'all that this matrix is collapsing, that this industry is collapsing. Tell me why Cardi B's label got her out in New York looking like a spiritual auntie, burning her sage up in the air, waving her hands like she just don't care, with this Bob Marley hat on, selling all of her albums, including the deluxe, for $9.99. They told her that she has to get out there and sell the CDs because why? The algorithm is not the same anymore. People are not listening to the music. They're not being pushed out to the public anymore. Now people are choosing what they want to listen to, and Cardi B really ain't it right now, y'all. But why is she waving the incense though? Is some entities or some spirits after her? Like, what is, I mean, but then again, you know what the music industry is all about. Now, ever since they took Diddy from this industry, y'all, things have been different, y'all. And I had originally said, watch when they take Diddy from the industry, things are going to start going down because, allegorically speaking, Diddy is the daddy of the music industry. That's why he was called Puff Daddy at first and then changed to Diddy, but I digress nonetheless. But yeah, people are feeling it because I'm not even hearing these, these summertime music jams and all that type of stuff no more. I'm not, none of that type of stuff no more. It's over because people are choosing what they want to listen and what they want to see via the new algorithm, y'all. This is the new digital streaming age, y'all. It's over for this stuff. Told y'all, the age of Aquarius, breaking down all illusions. But let me know what you guys think about this video. Ship this here. Let's continue to get it. Peace in.
Butterflies and dragonflies are fairies. When you're stuck in 3D, or even coming up 45D, they gonna still look like butterflies and dragonflies, but they're not at all. They are a part of the elemental beings. They are fairies. And as you go to, once you get to about 8D, 9D, the 9th dimension, you can see them for what they are. They're really fairies. They look just like us. They just got wings and they smaller. That's why when you look at the butterfly's body, it's like a little person just with 2 antennas. Little skinny person with 2 antennas and some wings. Go look at the dragonfly. It's like a little person with a little tail and some wings. But the dragonfly and the butterfly vibrates at the same frequency the bee does. The honeybee vibrates at 550 hertz. Actually, dragonflies and butterflies vibrate at 600 hertz or better. They vibrate a little higher than the bees do. Because bees are a part of the elemental beings as well. They're related to them, but they are not elemental beings. They are part of the family, but they are not them. They are still insects.
Never heard of that one before. Let me know if you have.
So you're going to go to Walmart, go to the pickle aisle, and I want you to get a regular sized jar of pickles, but the baby pickles, right? The little baby pickles. Okay. And then I need you to go over to where they have the big bulk items. If you need to get like a gallon of ranch dressing, that's where you get it, right? Yeah. And then I want you to find like a jumbo container of baby dill pickles. You can get them in a giant jar. Okay. They're not the same pickles. What it is a very large jar of like medium-sized pickles. They are twice the size of the baby pickles that are in the baby pickles jar. How has this gone under the radar, and how have we as a people and as a country and as consumers and as men gonna let them put those medium-sized pickles in the giant pickle jar and try to sell them to you and your family?
Pull the wool over
as
your eyes.
Baby pickles. Oh. This is the biggest slap in the face to the American people since the Patriot Act.
Right. I want niggas finna ride in this bitch, hurricane, big body, suicides on the whip.
Damn, I didn't know that.
It keeps them from reading your mind. Did I wake you too?
Dude, what wake? Pay attention. No, I must have missed it.
Oh, when were you born? The 80s?
Yes, ma'am. 82.
Oh, you got brain damage. In the 60s, they started adding isotopes to jet fuel, aluminum dioxide. They've been seeding the country like crop dusters ever since. It affects hormone growth, particularly in infants. Why you can't hear it?
See.
It's crazy because they always put truth in movies, bro. Did anybody see the new Conjuring? If you did, I told you I watch horror movies and ain't shit gonna touch me or affect me. I wasn't raised like that to watch a movie and be like, oh, I got possessed by watching a movie. Oh, I did this because I heard this song. That wasn't allowed in my household. Accountability was allowed in my household. So, you know, I was raised, yo ass know right from wrong. Do right, don't mess around with the wrong. To be possessed by a movie, bro, I ain't never heard. Like I said, people I grew up with, my family, my immediate family, that's not some shit we did. We did shit off other reasons. But possession? Bro, we look at that shit like, bro, what is wrong with you? Like, bro, you tweaking. From a movie? Some people like to disagree and say that's cool, but different lifestyles, different households. Like I said, in my household, that wasn't allowed. Movies put truth. And just like that movie, like The Mirror, they was opening portals, bro. I ain't gonna tell y'all what happened. But that was portal. They was opening portals, in my opinion. In the new Conjuring, they was opening portals. What y'all feel? Let me know if you seen it, if you liked it. I wasn't a big fan of it. It was cool, but it wasn't, to me, the best Conjuring. It seemed rushed. But movies put the truth right in our face. They tell it right to us. Most of the time it's in cartoons that I've noticed. Movies too, but a lot of cartoons really give up the gems. Let me know your thoughts though.
This is the most scared I've ever been to make a video. What you are seeing right here is the group of 100 people that own all of the most powerful and wealthy corporations in the entire world. And yes, that they are literally owned by the same 100 people repeatedly. And the amount of wealth that is accumulated from these companies cannot even be quantified. For example, see McDonald's over here. McDonald's by itself is worth $207 billion, and that is just one of all of these massive corporations. If you take a screenshot of this picture, you can zoom in and see the names of all of these people. They are called the Bilderberg Group. It's the outward look at some of those businesses that they own because they all branch out into other areas. Also, coincidentally, 33 people of everyone in this group is in the United States. And this is also just kind of funny, but one of the guys' names in there is Ed Balls.
33 though. What a number.
My biggest conspiracy theory will always be alcohol. As a former alcoholic, it amazes me to see how widely spread and pushed it is across American society. I consider it to almost be a form of mind control because it numbs a person so much and it almost makes them angry. And when you're intoxicated and angry, I feel like you're more easily manipulated by propaganda and commercials and your environments. It would make sense to me why the government and society would push alcohol so heavily when an intoxicated mind is easier to control. Anyways, if you need help getting sober, my inboxes are open. Love you.
Crazy things happening in the world right now.
Russia is cutting electricity and internet after 10 p.m.
in order to boost their birth rates. A 23-year-old is preparing to become the first human on Mars, and she's never going to return to Earth. In China, people are paying $4 a day to pretend they have jobs. Some are renting fake offices, some are posing as CEOs, all just to hide their unemployment from their family. Denmark has officially raised its retirement age to 70, which is the highest in Europe. Nancy Pelosi is now worth $264 million, while serving 38 years in Congress with an annual salary of $223,000. A former Doge engineer says that federal waste and fraud were relatively non-existent. China is digging the deepest hole on planet Earth. Tesla's new Cyberquad is a $1,650 quad bike for kids. A billionaire passed away after swallowing a BM at a polo match.
What the hell is a BM? Nancy Pelosi. I'm asking. Why? Calculate. She worth $264 million, right? She worth $264 million, right? Calculate that. I think it said 38 years. Calculate that and see how much money she's made. And then look into other people, congressmen, who get paid a hell of a lot. And let's ask why there's not enough resources for people. Let's ask why they aren't helping people who are unfortunate. You ain't got to throw all your coins to them, but what's wrong with helping them out with a resource? I mean, every time you go down the street, just make sure you have like $100 or $200 in cash and try to hand it to a homeless person. Like, where we know what they're doing. They're building generational wealth. They reaching the top of the totem pole and they dropping the rope for us to hang ourselves, but they're not dropping the rope for us to be able to climb up and get to their levels. Y'all get what I mean? Great leaders don't create followers. Great leaders show others how to become great leaders. You lead somebody to the water so they can drink it for their self. You teach them how you want to fish. You want to feed somebody and you fishing with your boy. Don't catch the fish for him because he's going to come back and ask you can he get another fish. Teach a man how to fish so he can have his own plate. You can have yours. That's the that's what's wrong with the world sometimes. Instead of going to a company saying, can you pay me a certain amount of money so I can make ends meet? Learn how that company makes things move. Learn how to make your own company. Learn how to do something for yourself so you don't got to go ask for it. You can do it yourself. Self-sustainable. And one of my guys in the comments had asked me, why did I like Nipsey Hussle? And my straightforward answer was ownership. We need to learn how to be self-sustainable. We need to learn how to own our own shit. We need to learn how to be knowledgeable. We need to learn how to hold ourselves accountable. These are, to me, traits that us as high vibrational beings, these are things that we need to live by. These are things that we need to move like. But let me know if I'm tripping. Let me know if I'm reaching. Like, I'm curious. What's your ideas? What's your examples? What's your ideologies? What's your beliefs, man? Let me know. Spam it up. But that's how I stand with this last clip. That kind of pissed me off.
Did y'all see that? He tried to eat his face. It says, while most U.S. states do not have a law that specifically or explicitly prohibits, other laws make it practically impossible to acquire and consume human flesh legally. Idaho is the only state with a specific anti-statute. Do you want to know why is not fully illegal in America? Because white people literally used to eat black people in this country. I kid you not. So, till today, they still do it. So, they don't...
Do y'all see what's going on with the crop fields all over the country? By the way, all of those are oranges, y'all. This is in South Jersey. But do y'all see what's going on? I'm not here to scare anybody or push fear content, but family, food is about to soar once again. Why? Well, y'all if you haven't heard, currently there's a whole bunch of videos of ICE agents going around and just raiding random places, y'all. And The fields for harvesting food has been one of the biggest ones, and now we're in September and you guys can clearly see what's happening. Look at this entire strawberry field in Tampa just completely rotten. Yo, I'm in Florida and I didn't even notice, like, Tampa's literally my neighbor. I had no idea. America's really in that F around and found out stage now, because they thought Donald Trump was going to help them and make everything cheaper, bring gas down and all this type of stuff, but it's the complete opposite. I said he is here to just dismantle this entire false corporation.
We're here. We are here at the FAFO stage. This is really bad. And if you appreciate my content, please engage with this video. I'm just going to read this to you. Multiple Texas farms shut down after almost 100% of workforce vanishes overnight. In a stunningly swift overnight change, some Texas farm operations had to shut down after losing virtually all of their workforce. An exodus triggered by the increase in immigration raids and increased enforcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, I will tell you, when it comes to food, make sure you are stocked up, because something big is about to happen with the food. Remember, it started with the porch and everything, y'all. So y'all see it, don't act like y'all don't know, okay? But yeah, did y'all hear about this? Let me know down in the comments below, y'all. I've been telling y'all the shift is here. Y'all feel it. Let's continue to get it. Peace out.
Nah, don't just blame Trump. This shit is, it's not just Trump making calls, bro. Everybody want to use him as the damn blaming him. No, bro, blame all these people at the top, bro. All these lawmakers, all these congressmen, all these politicians, blame them all. They all working together. They all working together. All of them. I'm not just going, and even old Sleepy Joe, he was working with him too. Even old Obama, he was working with him too. Like, they all work together, bro. And see, the thing with this is, be like, if I'm wrong, I'll be the first to say this. But I think with the play that they about to try to hit us with, cause the food to go bad, right? Demand goes up. So now prices are about to fly through the roof. People about to be becoming desperate, right? People are going to be hungry. Make it scarce. Cause the demand to go up. When the demand goes up, they're going to bring the food back, right? When they bring the food back, it's going to be that bullshit that this one person bought up all the land. Now, I can't say his name. Every time I say his name, this channel get a shadow ban. It get some shit. It go through something. Every single time. There's things I can't talk about. And every time I talk about them, this channel get hit with all types of weird miscellaneous shit. I'm just going to keep it direct and keep it a buck with y'all. That's as far as we're going to go with it. One person, he bought up a lot of the land. He doing certain shit to the fruit. When he do that shit to the fruit, they're going to slide it right into the market. People ain't going to be thinking about what they ingesting into their body. They going to be just so happy to be eating something, because shit is going to be going bad. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. This for entertainment purposes. So what I said wasn't even true. It was actually about a story I just made up just now. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts and opinions. But I think that's what they would do. Make it scarce. Make us desperate. Remove it from us. Then slowly give it back to us. When you give it back to us, it got something wrong with it. Same shit they did with TikTok. They removed it and they changed the servers and gave it right back to us. It's the same shit, bro. Same thing. Y'all let me know, though. Let me know y'all thoughts.
If you were to ask Stephen King what his scariest book is, the master of horror would give you one answer. He would tell you it's Pet Sematary. What makes this story so scary to King is the story behind this book's creation. In the late 70s, King was invited to be the writer-in-residence at the University of Maine. Don't tell me if you were one of his students, I'll die of jealousy. Anyways, he rented a house in Orrington, about 12 miles from campus, but the house sat on a very particular stretch of road. King was warned that this road claimed the lives of many pets owned by kids in the neighborhood. And sure enough, in the woods behind King's house, he discovered a graveyard that was labeled with the sign Pet Cemetery. And for King's daughter Naomi, just 12 years old at the time, that road claimed the life of her cat Smucky. And then there's King's son Owen, who was just 2 at the time. Owen got it in his head to go waddle along into the street. To this day, King doesn't remember whether Owen tripped or whether King himself caught him. But King couldn't help but ask himself the question, what if? And the answer to that question, that's what scares King in a deeply personal way.
Hey, so what? That was a true story for him too?
This man because he believed they, quote, deserved to die. This is the crazy story of Patrick Drum from Washington. So Patrick Drum was a seemingly normal guy living in Washington state. But something happened when a new roommate of his moved in with him. This new roommate was 28-year-old Gary Lee Blanton. And in 2001, Gary Lee had been convicted of a 17-year-old girl. And I guess when Patrick Drum found out that he was living with a pedophile, this just set him off. So on the evening of June 2nd, 2012, Patrick Drum got out a gun and murdered his roommate, Gary Lee. Then afterwards, he searched local sex offender registries and found his next victim. And his next victim would be 55-year-old Jerry Wayne Ray. In 2002, Jerry Wayne had been convicted of the first-degree rape of a child, and he had been marked on the database as someone who has a possibility of reoffending. Patrick then drove over to Jerry's house, busted in the door, and shot him point blank, murdering him in his own home. Now, after the Patrick would go on the run for a few hours, and he would later tell investigators that he had a third man he was intending on targeting later that day. But eventually authorities were alerted after Patrick Lee's wife and children went to see him at his house, and they found his dead body. After a short manhunt, Patrick Drum was arrested. The police took him into custody, but in court, he was completely unrepentant for his actions. He had no remorse. And like I said before, he told the court that the victims deserved to. He apologized to the families of the victims, saying that it was never his intent to hurt the families, that's just collateral damage. And he then said, as for the men, actions speak louder than words. So yeah, this is just an absolutely crazy story.
Damn. Do y'all agree? He did what he had to do.
What? You've never heard this? No. It's the greatest story ever, bro. It's the greatest story.
Made a deal with the aliens?
Yes.
Holy shit.
For technology, and the deal was they were going to work together, okay? I know this sounds crazy. So basically the aliens go down and Klaus Schwab's dad go down and meet with Eisenhower. It's going to be like we could either do it one way or the other way. We could do it nice or we can do it the wrong way. And that's where they say Eisenhower made a deal with these aliens that they could people and do experiments, but they couldn't just do it anywhere. They had specific places, which were our national forest. What? Yeah, dude. You've never heard of this. The missing 411 come from.
The missing information? What missing information?
No, the missing 411.
What do you mean by that?
Which is all these people have mysteriously disappeared in force. And they don't know
you're not
how.
talking about the missing 411 like information.
No.
So missing 411 is the number of people that have been abducted?
Yeah, and it's all really weird because they all have like a lot of similar characteristics.
And that's it. How y'all feel?
Do you ever indulge in biblical conspiracy theories? Every now and then I dabble. Here's one of my favorite ones. Genesis chapter 6, whenever it talks about how the sons of God found the daughters of men to be attractive and they relations with them, and their offspring was called Nephilim. Actually, it's in Genesis chapter 6. Look it up. In Jude, which is in the New Testament, Jude talks about these offspring, and he compares it to Sodom and Gomorrah, and how Sodom and Gomorrah, whenever they didn't find the opposite sex to be attractive, so they indulged in sexual relations with the same sex as what Sodom gets its roots from. But it says the same thing happened with these angels. They left their normal relations, which I guess in this example would be with the angels, and they decided to have relations with humans. Very, very strange. You don't hear much talk about this because it's so strange, but it's in the Old and the New Testament. Well, did you know that Jesus gave a parable about seeds in a field, and how some of the seed was good, but then all of a sudden, whenever the seed started growing up, then there was other seed that was in the field that was like weeds and all that stuff. And the guy says, hey, should we just rip all of these out? And Jesus says, no, don't rip it out, because you might mess up the good seed. So let them all grow up together, and then at the end of the age, we'll separate the good seed from the bad. We'll throw the bad seed into the fire, and we'll keep the good seed. Okay? I heard a theory that maybe that this is what is going on right now. Have you ever looked at somebody and you just thought something was a little bit off? I'm not saying that they are some type of spawn of the the fallen angels. But think about it, okay? This is wild. What if this whole alien thing that's going on, because if you're paying any attention to every 3 or 4 weeks they talk about aliens again. What if this whole alien thing is actually not aliens? What if there is some offset of angels that are being bad again, just like in Genesis chapter 6, and they're trying to make offspring, and it's actually creating this really strange which would look like an alien group of people, because it's just like some funky abomination. No, I know that sounds crazy, and like I said, it's just a conspiracy, but think about it. Think about it. Jesus said that as in the days of Noah, so it will be at the coming of the Son of Man. Jesus said this. Where's Genesis chapter 6? Whenever the Nephilim come, it's right whenever God talks about Noah and how Noah says he needs to build a boat. Why does Noah need to build a boat? Because the seed is all corrupt. What seed? The seed of man. Oh, but wait, he's just talking about the seed that was mixing with the angels. I don't know. Something very strange about that. Is it true? Probably not, but man, it sure is an interesting conspiracy theory.
Why do you still do it? Why are you still out here?
Well, it goes back to the destiny thing. I mean, I made a bargain with it, a long time ago, and I'm holding up my end.
What was your bargain?
To get where I am now.
Should I ask who you made the bargain with?
with the chief commander.
On this earth?
And this earth, and then in a world we can't see.
Yeah, I almost said forget that.
Now this is scary. You've all heard about the firmament theory. Well, if you haven't, stick around because there's footage. It's a theory that space is fake and no humans can actually leave the atmosphere. In the clip I'm about to show, a plane actually hits the firmament and crashes. Watch the clip. You see the side-by-side comparison with the water on the left side of the screen. It's a model plane to show the difference. You notice how the splash of the model plane in the water is very, very similar to how the plane exploded when it touched what we assume is the firmament. It's like an imaginary barrier that you can't cross, like something more powerful rejecting humans. I think it's interesting, but I also think it's very strange. I am currently live streaming these conspiracies. If you want to watch, press my profile.
Look, my uncle used to say, the world ain't difficult, truth ain't difficult, humans make it complicated. Humans make the truth complicated. Humans don't think outside the box. And he used to be like, but you got to get used to that, because humans is what you're going to deal with every single day of your life, man. So, with that being said, to my Globers, when you see a side-by-side comparison like that, does it sway your perspective? Does it make you say, no, that's still not the case? And what has you still holding on to your globe belief?
Bro, this is what I mean when I say they put shit right in front of our faces with these movies, bro. I need to just open your eyes for a second. I just started watching this documentary, bro. This shit is no cap. Y'all see the key to all this shit, right? Y'all see the key to all of this, bro. This is no coincidence, man. Just listen to this, bro.
After you take your hands away, the very concept of truth is fading out of this world, and lies will pass into history.
Like, bro, just listen.
The gravest error a thinking person can make is to believe that one particular version of history is absolute fact. History is recorded by a series of observers, none of whom are impartial. It is change, continuing change, inevitable change that is the dominant factor in society today.
All conspiracies contain a nugget of truth. Watch this.
About your conspiracy, brother.
There aren't that many conspiracy theories anymore because we found out that all conspiracy theories
there's a nugget of truth in there. It came from somewhere. That's where it became a theory. And then it progressed to the point where it became a conspiracy theory. Because there was something there. See, in our industry, who pays you is who tells you what narrative you're allowed to use. And I'm not paid, so I own my narrative. Wow. So, in media, somebody's getting paid.
I've got one that can see.
Proof that they are going to end the world.
Project Bluebeam is a conspiracy theory that claims NASA and other global organizations plan to implement a new world order by using advanced technology to simulate a fake second coming of Christ. A 4-step plan for psychological manipulation. First, advanced technology would be used to create earthquakes and meant to challenge existing religious beliefs. Using holographic projections, the sky would be lit with images of religious figures, delivering messages that manipulate people into believing their deity is communicating with them. A technology would allegedly transmit voices into people's minds, convincing them they are hearing divine or extraterrestrial messages. They will create chaos through fake alien invasions, leading people to submit to a global government to restore order.
I think the day, if that was to ever happen, that's going to be a sad day for some people. Some people's heads going to be scrambled up, bro. Perceptions, belief systems, that shit is about to be scrambled, and man, that's about to be a sad day for some individuals. For me, I'm gonna just keep my ass in the house. If I'm so serious, I'm gonna try to stay in the crib. And if it causes me to have to go outside, bro, I'm gonna just try to drive and stay away from as many humans as possible. I'm just being honest with y'all, cause I know people about to be crashing out. And I seen a comment. Somebody said, "What crash out mean?" Crash out mean you gonna do some shit that ain't high vibrational at all. And you about to probably take it to the most furthest extent or the furthest extreme that you can take it. That's the best example or definition of crashing out is what I mean. You see a car going full speed into a wall and it's about to crash and they ain't stopping. That's what a person means when they say they about to crash out. They about to go all the way there. If that means they about to take you off the planet, that means that's what that's about to be. I don't want to be around humans because I feel like humans is going to be tripping out. They're going to be tripping. Money system, food, electronics, bro, everything's about to go to shit. It's about to be people who about to lose it's about to be some deranged ass people. Let me know how y'all feeling, but like I said, I'm trying to stay away from everybody at that point. That's my opinion. If that project right there was to go and happen, I hope it don't ever happen, but I think they're already working on it.
What's a conspiracy theory that absolutely blows your mind?
Back in 2009, Eminem dropped this album, Relapse. When it first came out, this album was my shit. And at this time, I was also really into conspiracy theories. There's one song on the deluxe version of this album called My Darling that makes you think. You know how everybody says rappers sell their souls to get famous? Illuminati! Anyway, I broke this song down back then. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. Break it down. 1, 2, 3. 3 times. 1 + 2 + 3 = 6. 6, 6, 6. We got this motherfucker now. He goes on the hook. My darling, I possess your soul, your mind, your heart, your body. And on the other verses, he's talking with a demon.
Screaming for you, I can bring your career back. But I don't want it back. Yes, you do. No, I don't. Yes, you do.
This song had up.
This may be the most proof I've ever seen that the Illuminati actually exist. In this clip, Simon Lou starts talking about the Illuminati, and he turns his attention to Andrew Garfield, and notice what happens next.
Illuminati real? And if so, why haven't I been invited? Garfield, where are you? I know you know. I know you know.
Now let's look at that again. But that's nothing compared to this next one. Kelly Clarkson is interviewing Kevin Hart when she starts talking about being offered major money for sketchy things. Pay attention to Kevin's response.
Dollars in my face to do something I didn't want to do. And what?
Just, you've been on, yeah. Oh, they're in the room.
It's almost like these actors know they shouldn't be talking about these things. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and follow for more creepy, dark, and interesting content.
I'm gonna keep it, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Sometimes, now the very first clip, I don't know. Sometimes, and I know people gonna disagree with this. Sometimes there's, and I've been around some individuals who are up there. When I mean up there, I mean up there. Who in there? Let's put it like that. And I asked, I ain't even gonna say the name publicly because this will cause a lot of heat. I said, bro, when y'all talk Illuminati talk, or if y'all talking about some secret societies and stuff like that, it's sometimes it really, really like, he's like, I'm like, or sometimes are y'all all like that? And he's like, nah, not all, but some. And he's like, and it's certain cliques. Like, you might be cool with this person over here, and your person you on set with, or a person you got a song with, they cool with these people over here. And this group of people and this group of people, they may not rub shoulders, but they believe in the same type of thing. And then he said, and there's some people who are like, say those two are teams, and there's a new actor coming in. They'll try to get that person over there, or say there's a new musician coming in, athlete, whatever. They'll try to get them to come over there. But if you don't choose it, then you don't choose it. But that doesn't take away from the fact that you are successful. And he said, but sometimes there's some of us who are free agents who don't deal with this group or that group, and we don't believe in what they believe in, but we might be on set with those people. And he's like, but we'll joke about it on camera like this. Or we'll tell him, no, don't talk about it. And he's like, why? Because the public is always going to run with their narrative. They're always going to run with it. And he said, and some of these people who play like this have never been to a Diddy party, who actually do believe in something bigger than what some of these other organizations within Hollywood, or what, y'all get what I mean, believe in. And he's like, but the public wouldn't believe that. There's certain individuals out here who would never believe that. And he said, so why am I going to try to prove to you that I'm not like that? I don't need to prove to you. As long as I know, and as long as God knows. And that's what he said. And he was like, and he's like, bro, and I play, and he's not lying. He played in some legendary movies. And he's like, but why do I need to prove anybody right or wrong? As long as I know, and you can say whatever you want to say, it does not affect me, because I know it's not true, and I know what I do for God. I said, which God you talking about? Because you could be saying this and really be. And he's like, and when he explained it to me, I was like, damn. But again, there's some people who watching this who would definitely still disagree. But that wasn't the first celebrity I've had that talk with. I had that talk with like 3 or 4. One athlete, one musician, and I made sure I got one actor up in there. And when I say the athlete I talked to used to play for the Kings, and he legit. Somebody got it right in the comments. And I seen actor, and this actor, like I said, got some legendary ass movies. And the rapper was like B-list. He wasn't A-list. He wasn't in the C tier. He was about B-list. But he been in, put it like this, he knew where to go if you wanted to get to a Diddy party. I asked him, has he ever been to one? And he said no. This was earlier this year when I asked him. And he's like, nah, I ain't never been. But I heard it get rocking. I know some people who had to go through some things. And so I've rubbed shoulders with some real people in there. So it's kind of like, I want to hear what y'all got to say. I think this shit real sometimes, because I said I was about to go to a party like that. And then when I seen what they was having us do, I was like, oh, hell no, I ain't going, bro. Weird shit. But y'all let me know y'all thoughts. Disagree if you still please. Oh, that's some bullshit. Collective, can y'all fact check this, please? I hope that ain't real. I told y'all zombies one of the most craziest scenarios I do not want to. That's one of them ones. Everybody got they no-nos, and that's one no I don't want, bro. I'm just saying. Did I say 2014? Or was that something? Did that represent something else? Collective, please enlighten me.
Chernobyl. Your skin will fall off, your teeth will fall out, and your organs, they will fail. In 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you just how bad the Chernobyl disaster really was.
It's now clear that the Soviet Union has suffered one of the worst disasters in the history of nuclear power.
It will not be safe to stand in Reactor 4 for 20,000 years. That is how long the radioactive fuel will remain dangerously hot. The explosion left graphite on the roof. Standing next to this graphite for just 2 minutes would mean your organs would fail within days. The poor firefighters, they were sent in with zero protection. They moved radioactive debris with their bare hands. Many died within weeks, essentially being cooked from the inside. The elephant's foot is the most dangerous object on Earth. This radioactive lava would kill a person if they stood next to it for just 30 seconds. The radiation released from Chernobyl was 400 times worse than Hiroshima, and the red forest is still glowing hot with dangerous radiation. It's pretty safe to say that Chernobyl remains one of the most dangerous places on Earth.
Midnight Connection.
Was it an accident or did they test that on us? If it happened in America, I would say they tested.
We have a problem.
New overnight, a Russian
attack by a Russian
over the Chernobyl nuclear power plant.
On February 14th, Russia flew a kamikaze drone into Chernobyl. Yes, that Chernobyl, the nuclear power plant that was the site of the worst radioactive accident in the history of humanity. Now, there's a hole through the protective shell or sarcophagus that guards Chernobyl big enough to drop an SUV through. We're here to tell you why this is a way bigger deal than you may have thought, and what Russia's game is.
Добрый вечер, товарищи. Все вы знаете, недавно нас постигла беда. Авария на Чернобыльской атомной электростанции.
Chernobyl is one of the few pieces of Ukrainian history that nearly everyone in the world has heard of. At the time of the accident in 1986, only 5% of the radioactive reactor core was scattered into the environment. That was enough to leave 1,000 square miles surrounding the Chernobyl power plant uninhabitable to the present day. It's an area known as the exclusion zone. The explosion at Chernobyl released 400 times more radiation than the nuclear bomb on Hiroshima during World War II. All of that from just 5% of the reactor's contents, mostly uranium, plutonium, and the resulting molten mess termed corium. The reactor melted down exactly 39 years ago tonight at 1:23 in the morning. Since then, over 200 tons of radioactive material have remained within the new safe confinement, the official name of the sarcophagus shielding the destroyed plant. To understand the situation caused by Russia's drone strike on Chernobyl, let's talk about what this sarcophagus is and how it works. So first, why did we need any type of confinement? And by that I mean, what exactly is it confining? Radiation is commonly depicted in pop culture as a glowing light. That kind of radiation, electromagnetic radiation, is fairly common, and much of it is benign. In addition to visible light, electromagnetic radiation includes radio and microwaves, X-rays, and also highly dangerous gamma rays, all of which erupted from Chernobyl. But this was not the most dangerous radiation that the Chernobyl meltdown released. Think of pollen, which trees release and the wind picks up and carries it everywhere, to other trees and flowers.
Teaching me something new.
This is Igor Pavlovitz. Igor's right arm is missing. His legs are stunted. Igor is now 8. He was born in Belarus during the aftermath of the Chernobyl catastrophe. He's living in Surrey with foster parents.
When we first met Igor, he was living in No. 1 Children's Hospital in Minsk, and his mother had lived in a village very near and was very ill with radiation sickness herself.
Igor has spent his whole life in institutions, and his future is full of uncertainty. He's here in Britain for the fitting of artificial limbs. His deformities caused by the world's worst nuclear disaster. 9 years on, the effects of the deadly and invisible cloud still taint town and country. Igor was among the first child victims of Chernobyl. He grew up in the state orphanage in Minsk.
What if I told you the reason you feel temptations for certain things and certain sins is very specific to what you're supposed to do?
Before continuing, I wanted to warn you guys their phones were being spied on. Click on this icon, then more. If you see it, delete it immediately.
So if you have the urge to smoke or damage your lungs, it's because your voice was made to worship. The enemy's trying to silence you that was meant to praise. If you have crippling self-doubt or insecurity, it's because you're meant to lead and inspire. If you weren't dangerous to darkness, it wouldn't try to mute your confidence. If you have constant distraction and procrastination, it's because you carry strategy, vision, and ideas from heaven. The enemy delays you because he can't stop you, only you can. Now, this one's gonna hit a lot of people. If you have an addiction to lust or it's because you carry a deep capacity for intimacy, covenant, and healing. Perverting love is how Satan prevents true restoration.
That's true.
Crazy. If you have fear of rejection or abandonment, it's because you carry a spirit of belonging and reconciliation. You were made to gather the outcasts, so he tries to make you feel like one.
Damn.
You have an obsession with appearance or body image. It's because you're meant to reflect God's glory, not the world's standards. So he's gonna try to get you to hate your image.
Damn. It's bars though.
If you're drawn to witchcraft, astrology, or manifestation, it's because you have a prophetic gift meant for God's kingdom. The enemy counterfeits your gift to keep you out of alignment. If you struggle with overspending or greed, it's because you're meant to be a kingdom financer. So he wants to keep you broke so he can never bless others.
Follow for more Hoop conspiracy theories.
I gotta agree with that one. Damn, that was deep.
Have you ever found it weird that there's an Egyptian pyramid on the US dollar bill? And on top of that, the Illuminati eye sits right at the top. If you zoom in on the bill, you'll notice a lot of strange things. Devil-like faces, flying saucers, and there's even a hidden phrase written in tiny letters below the pyramid, carrying a terrifying message. It says, Novus Ordo Seclorum, which means New World Order. I bet you don't even know what that really means. Yet countless politicians from all nations have already spoken about this New World Order. The truth is, for hundreds of years, a plan has been in motion, put in place by a family you all know, the family considered the most powerful in the world. They control everything around you from the shadows. Apparently, every year, they hold secret meetings with the leaders of each nation to track their progress on the plan, their ultimate goal, to fully dominate all nations, erase all religions, and create a single type of human, one that moves in the same direction, completely submissive to this elite. You need to wake up fast before it's too late.
Horror movies, that's not just a prop. I still don't play with clowns to this day because of it. And that little red balloon, that's a whole symbol. People think it's just creepy for fun. Nah, it represents innocence turned dark. Childhood joy flipped into a warning sign. In it, every time that little balloon shows up, somebody's about to go missing or worse. It's literally Pennywise's calling card. Okay? And you know Hollywood don't do anything without hidden meanings. Y'all remember when Diddy dressed up as a clown from It for Halloween? Red balloon and everything. Go back a little bit because Ellen already scared him with a clown and a red balloon on her show. Almost like a preview. I'm just saying, when celebrities play a role tied to symbolism like that, it's never just a costume. It's a ritual, a message. Red balloons in horror, they mean soul sacrifice, blood, innocence lost. It's cute until you realize it's a code. Anyway, next time you see one just floating by itself, don't follow it. Just don't.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I ain't seen no red balloon float by its damn self. And if I did, I'm not coming close to it.
This is the update that nobody wanted to hear. As 19-year-old Dakara Thompson, the lady who went to the gas station for a quick stop, she has been found unalive on Route 50 in a ditch, y'all, in Anne Arundel County. And this right here is the bitch-ass person who unalived her. They caught this bitch ass and arrested him. He is being charged with first and second degree murder. His name is Hugo Hernandez. He is 35 and hopefully 36 don't appear. No parent should have to go through this. So I'm sending my condolences to her, to him, and everybody else who was affected by this tragic loss of Dakara Thompson. So they say surveillance shows Dakara Thompson getting into a black SUV early that morning, and that led right to that man's house. So investigators believe the man unalived Dakara inside the bedroom, wrapped her up, put her in a car, and then drove away and dumped her body miles away. So here's what I want to know. Did she know this man? Was this a random attack? Or was this a setup from the start? And I'm also hearing that this man had prior arrests. Some of the jokes that could have kept him behind bars. So my question is, how was he out? And if he never got out, this would have never happened, right? Once again, RIP to Dakara Thompson, y'all. And you, my boy, you can rot in, you know.
Man, send his ass to general population. Don't PC him up and let the homies get on him, bro. I don't know. I'm hoping that, cause he looked like he's Latino or Hispanic or something, and I'm hoping none of the Latino gangs or the Hispanic gangs, none of them help him out. Man, send his ass. Send him to the wolves, bro. Send him to the wolves. I know she wasn't underage, but she was under 21, and I know how the rules is in there, man. Don't touch no kids, but that's still damn near. I mean, yeah, she 19, but still, bro, that's still a baby. She still had a hell of a lot of life to live. And I don't like when dudes overpower women and kids, bro. Go get it in, like, go overpower a man, bro. You weak as shit if you got to do that to a woman or a kid. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. You let them walk. I don't care what they do. I don't care what they say. There's better options. If a man say some shit, he do some shit, okay, cool. Knuckle up. Take it wherever you gotta take it. Do what you feel you gotta do. But when you gotta like do this to a woman, a kid, it don't make no sense, bro. It don't make no sense. Like I said, send his ass in general population and let him go to war with a bone crusher. I vibrate higher than that, collective. I apologize. I just don't like to see it. And if you've been there before, you know what a bone crusher is, bro. But I know you made it to the end of this. And if you haven't already, please like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell so you always notified whenever we drop them uploads. Y'all know we coming with about 4 videos every smooth 7. And this is for entertainment purposes as well. And when you like and comment and subscribe to the channel, helps Collective grow, helps Collective get bigger, helps more people who like this type of content tap in with this content. But I appreciate y'all watching ATV, whatever the case is. I wish it was smooth 7. Love y'all, Collective. I told y'all I had to come through with a longer video. I hope y'all appreciate it. I hope y'all like it. I hope y'all rocking with it. But let me know if y'all want more like this again, or if y'all want us to keep doing like the 2 uploads in one day. Long video, 1 long video, or y'all want me to put 2 in one day. Let me know how y'all feeling. Till I see y'all in the next one, y'all know what it is. We gone.
Ay. just check my account. Sheesh, at the amount. You probably know what I'm